Renee noticed the empty chairs at 10:48 in the morning. She didn't count them. She didn't need to. She knew exactly how many seats she'd reserved, had written the names on little cards herself 3 weeks ago in her careful block lettering. 6 chairs, her parents, her aunt, her brother Griffin and his girlfriend, her grandmother, who had RSVP'd yes and then gone quiet. All 6 empty. She adjusted her bouquet and watched the door for another 4 minutes. Then she stopped watching the door. The text from her mother arrived at 11:04, sweetheart. Griffin surprised us all with the cruise proposal trip. It was completely last minute, you know how he is. Your wedding only happens once, but so does a proposal like this. We'll celebrate you both when we're back. Love you so much today. Renee read it twice. Handed her phone to her maid of honor, Dana, without saying anything. Dana read it and looked up with an expression Renee didn't want to see, so she looked away. She walked toward the aisle. Daniel had known something was wrong before the text. He'd been watching the door too, not anxiously, but in the way of someone who has been quietly cataloging a pattern for 2 years and is waiting to see if today will confirm it. He had never said to Renee, "Your family treats you like a footnote," he'd thought it. He'd felt it at Thanksgiving when her promotion was mentioned once and Griffin's new car was discussed for 40 minutes. He'd felt it at her mother's birthday dinner when Renee organized everything and her father toasted Griffin's recent golf tournament. He hadn't said it because Renee hadn't asked, and because some things a person has to arrive at themselves, but standing at the altar, watching her come toward him, the way her face was composed in a manner that was almost right but not quite, the way she was holding something in that he recognized as a familiar weight, he understood that today she had arrived. He stood straighter. He smiled at her in a way that meant, "I see you, not the occasion." "You," she exhaled very slightly when she reached him. The ceremony was genuinely beautiful. Neither of them had wanted anything elaborate. 40 people who actually knew them, a restored hall with good light, a friend officiating who made 2 people in the front row cry at different moments. During the vows, Renee's voice caught once and then steadied, and the steadying felt less like composure and more like a choice. Daniel heard it. He held her hands a little more firmly. The empty chairs appeared in several photographs. No one mentioned them. At the reception, Dana showed Renee the posts. She hadn't planned to. She'd been protecting Renee from her phone all afternoon. But Renee asked directly, and Dana had learned not to manage her. The screen showed a cruise ship deck at golden hour, her mother and father laughing, Griffin holding a bottle of champagne, his girlfriend's ring catching the light, her mother's caption, "Surprise proposal cruise. Our boy did it right. So proud." Renee looked at the screen for what felt like a long time, but was probably 8 seconds. Then she turned it face down on the table, stood up, and walked back to the dance floor. She danced for 2 hours, not performatively, not to prove anything. She danced because the music was good and Daniel was there, and 40 people who loved her were in that room. And she had decided, somewhere between the aisle and this moment, that she was not going to let absence take up more space than presence. Daniel told her about the call the next morning. They were drinking coffee. He said it simply. His family's attorney managed a property investment that had informally included her parents for the past 3 years, a goodwill arrangement, undocumented, extended during a difficult period. He'd called the previous night to have the distribution paperwork revised, administrative tidying, he said. He thought it was time they stopped directing generosity toward people who couldn't be bothered to show up. Renee looked at her coffee cup. She didn't feel triumphant. She felt the complicated, heavy truth of consequence landing on people she loved in a damaged way, not an unloved way. There is a difference, and it matters. "Okay," she said finally. Daniel nodded. Her mother's congratulations message arrived 4 days later. It was warm and brief and mentioned neither the wedding nor the cruise. Renee read it on a Tuesday morning and set her phone down and poured herself more coffee. She didn't respond that day. She and Daniel were learning the shape of the life they'd chosen. It was solid in a way nothing had prepared her for, built from the right materials, by people who had decided to be honest about what they were building. The rest was still being worked out. Some of it probably always would be.